Hi, welcome to a video of my flea market finds for Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. Part 1 of I don't know how many. 2, perhaps even 3. Tuesday because it's a different flea market, much further away from my usual flea market, and I'm on vacation. So I arrive at 5:18 a.m. after getting up at 3:32 a.m. had breakfast and prepared and left. It's a further drive, and I left the flea market at 2:48 p.m. 9.5 hours later without eating anything. I only drank water during those 9.5 hours. The only thing I had until I got home past 5 was the breakfast I had in the morning. Anyway, so let's start with the first purchase. I arrived. I didn't take long to start buying. A table had 2 sellers at the same spot. One had a box of $10 records. I only picked one, and I managed to get it down to 7. And it's the Dell's Sweet as Funk Can Be. And the cover is so clean. Now, the good news and bad news about this record. Good news is not a scratch. And also that it goes for around $60 on Discogs. This copy is very clean. Bad news is that it was very hot Tuesday, and I didn't protect my records and my finds properly on the backseat of the car. I stupidly forgot I have not 1, not 2, but 3 blankets in the car that I could have used to cover my findings, so that some sun ray hit directly the record, and it's not completely warped, but you cannot even see it unless you spin the record. But it skips. It's like a little bit when you roll with your car on gravel instead of clean asphalt. So yeah, I screwed up a $60 record that I paid $7, and yeah, really. And I also damaged 2 with the heat. 2 45s that I didn't pay much for. They'll come later in the video, but this is yeah, I stupidly. The other friend with him selling other records, there were $5 each, or 5 for $20, which comes to $4 each. But I found 7, so I've asked him permission to add a 5th and a 7th record, also for $4. So he said, sure. So it came to $28 for 7 records, $4 each. So I decided to since they were all clean, to start a chili whack, not necessarily a collection, but to get into chili whack, because I know and like only 2 songs so far, so which are in the selection. Out of the 7 records, 5 are chili whack records. So in chronological order, I have here chili whack All Over You on A&M, chili whack Lights from the Valley, very common, but aside from a little bit of ringware, it's very clean. Chili whack Breakdown in Paradise, also something I've seen a lot, but it's probably my least favorite from spot checking it. And well, 148 Heavy is a little bit less rock and a little bit more disco, so I like that one more. But everything that tends to resemble hard rock or loud singing turns me off, generally speaking. So, but I only spot checked a little bit. This one I'm glad I found, because one of my 2 songs by them that I know and like is on it. It's I Believe, which unfortunately has been shoved at the end of the side where the sound quality is not as good. That pisses me off. I always hate when they put the good tracks at the end of the side. And finally, I already have I Believe on my 45. And this has the other song I know and love by them. This is Chili Whack Opus 10 from 1982. And it has What You Gonna Do, which I love. It's very, very catchy. What you gonna do when I'm gone? It's a very, very catchy song. And I'm glad the lyrics were in there, because I read the lyrics, and it's not as negative that I thought it was. I thought it meant what you're gonna do when I'm gone, because he was going to leave her. No, it's about like what do you do when I'm not there? Do you sleep with other men, or No, I'm going to do what you want. I'll do what I want. Something like that. I read really fast, so it's a little bit more lighthearted than I thought. So then the two other records, a clean, beautiful copy of Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, 4 in blue, shrink wrap still on the sleeve. Original phono disc inner sleeve. The record is impeccable, nice thick vinyl. And the best one of the lot, I'm really glad I got this one, Kool and the Gang, The Force. I like Kool and the Gang in the 70s, very funky. And I haven't played the whole thing yet. I have the last 3 songs to play. Very good, love this. So that gave a good kickstart to just the day. Gotta make sure I don't skip anything, because I'm actually restarting this first part 30 minutes down the drain because I skipped an item. And I don't have editing software, obviously. I will skip all the details about seeing stuff, passing over it, coming back to it, buying it. Let's just show the things I got in the order. So the next item was free. It started with a guy had records and nothing good for me. And I noticed he had a half empty cup of slush puppy. So I've asked him when it would be empty, if I could have it, I would give him $1. If I thought it was amusing, said sure, I'll do that later when you can pick it up. But I have one empty in my vehicle, so he went into his minivan or whatever it was, a truck, a car, I don't remember, and he pulled out an empty one. So I thanked him. I got it for free, and I said I would come back later for the other one. And I have one that size, but it's a different style, and it's a little light colored. So this one is a different style. And I collect slush puppy things and slush puppy cups for those who still don't know. Slush puppy. I've never had a slush in my life, by the way. I eat and drink healthy, so I'm never going to have a slush puppy either. Going back to the next find was one of the sellers I see at the usual flea market was there. They had some $2 comic books, and since I got a whole bunch of soft-covered first edition Lucky Luke by Dupree, I decided to collect them all. Not missing many, but I was missing this one. I had my little list in my fanny pack. So I got this one, Billy the Kid, Lucky Luke, for $2. Yes. And earlier I started reading it. I had to put it down. It was really hard to stop reading it. It's a good story. Goscinny was a heck of a writer. My God, that guy. Speaking of him, I think the next item mentioned has something to do with him. Yes. After I got this one for $2, another table was selling a bunch of Asterix comics for $5 each, but he had a whole bunch of first editions. Most of them had issues. 2 of them were okay, and I got these 2 for $5 each until later when I got home I realized I already had bought a few weeks ago a first edition of the same book, so I bought it for nothing. See, La Zizanie, and it ends with La Zizanie, but and Le Devin ends with Le Devin. So at least I got that one, and this one I'm going to give to a friend who just discovered Asterix recently and is into it, so that's for him. So it's not a total loss. A gift out of it. Okay, next. That was oh yeah. This place I had to splurge on certain items and pay more than I wanted. It's a rather more expensive place and lot more antiques oriented. So I still had to buy what I found. The guy had a little booklets full of 45s. Most of them were old RCA Victor red label, red vinyl, because for those who don't know, early RCA Victor records had different colors for different styles of music. Well, all of them were red except for 2, and I had to have them, and because I think I almost have all the colors with those 2 now. But he wanted the best price I could get out of him for these scratchy sleeveless 45s were $5 for both. But I of course I got them, and yeah, I'm curious to know if I have all of them now. I'm not sure if I have all the blue, different styles of blue. But this is Little Black Sambo by Paul Wing. So you have part 1, part 2 would fall like this. You would flip it over on your record automatic changer. Part 3 and part 4 here. There we go. Got them for the color. Very hard to find in my area, to find any yellow RCA records. Then, after I got this for $5, another seller this time that I recognize, well, that I usually see at the other flea market, had some records and something else that he never brings, or I didn't know had for sale. Well, the records, I went into the $2 box. I got 2 records. So this is a beat up copy of Antoine, first LP with his big hit Les Élucubrations d'Antoine. I already have a beat up placeholder, but this record inside is way less beat up than the one I already have. But my sleeve that I already have is better than this one, so I will swap them. Because it's so hard to, it might take me forever to find an affordable, good condition copy of this record. Decided to get this for just $2. And this one I've been looking for at least 27 years. I have some specific event that helps me bring, like, at least I've known about this record for at least 27 years, and that's the first time I find it. It has some groove wear, unfortunately, on it, but no scratches. Michel Noël, J'ai deux amours, etc. Sur Carnaval, c'est des repiquages, des transferts de 78 tours qu'il a fait sur étiquette Carnaval dans les années, je crois, début 50, peut-être même fin 40, je suis pas trop sûr. Puis je collectionne les disques de Michel Noël, qui était bien sûr le Capitaine Bonhomme. This Michel Noël actor was a singer as well. He was very popular for his character Capitaine Bonhomme. And yeah, so these are 78s he did in the 50s, put on an LP, have some groove wear but no scratches. It's hard to find. I mean, I've never seen it. So we're up to $4. So the other $16, because I paid him $20, were for sheet music. See, yeah, I picked a few, but because he's not cheap, doesn't make any gifts, I only picked a few out of his stack. And then I found out they were $1 each. So I went back in the pile, through the pile, and I picked out a total of 16. I think I had picked 2 or 3 on me. Now I've picked all 16 of them. So let's look at them. They're in various conditions. Not conditions. When You Wish Upon a Star, Walt Disney's Pinocchio. It looks original from 1939. Aimer comme je t'aime, I got it because different singers sang it, but because Les Sœurs Etienne recorded it, and I collect all their records. They sang a little bit like the Andrew Sisters, although there are 2 of them. I have a big pile of their 78s, a few CDs, a couple of 45s, and no LPs yet of them. I don't think any LP was ever released by them, I don't know. Anyway, so that's what they look like. I'm thirsty for kisses, hungry for love, lonely with only just me. What's interesting is it doesn't seem to feature any specific singer, because back then the stars were the songs, not the singers. Various singers would record the same new song and hope to sell more copies than the others. I have that song on 78 already, but I forgot by whom. So of course I picked that one up. Mr. Sandman, which I don't have on the 78, I wish I had. I missed it several years ago by just a few minutes. For $1. I was so jealous of whoever got it. Mr. Sandman by the Chordettes. As recorded on Apex record. Yeah, because in Canada it was on Apex. Puisque vous partez en voyage, musique de Mireille, paroles de Jean Nobin. It's a song from the 30s, but was recorded by Jean Dutron. I think that's François Hardy. Hey, toi et le ciel t'aidera, Marc Gélina, vedette de la radio et télévision, sur disque RCA Victor, French-Canadian singer of the 50s. Charles Aznavour, you must have heard of him. Tu te laisses aller. Another Charles Aznavour pour faire une jam. Pretty cool. I'm starting to have quite a collection of sheet music now I think about it. Comme tu es jeune, un grand succès de Shirley Theroux sur étiquette Trans-Canada. Her big hit was C'est beau un homme. I still pick that up. Avec le temps, musique et paroles, Léo Ferré, mais chanté par Dalida. Dalida did a cover of this Léo Ferré song. This is the blonde period from the 70s. Les Immortels, Jean-Pierre Ferland, French-Canadian singer. This is really cool, from France, because our French-Canadian star Félix Leclerc, the Canadien, started recording in France. And this is Hymne au printemps, paroles et musique de Félix Leclerc. C'est chanson créée enregistrée sur disque Polydor with the number. In Canada it was released on Quality Records. This is a really cool one. I love all young mixtapes. I love that one. La maison sous les arbres par Gilbert Bécaud. Not his best song, but I don't have. I think it's my first sheet music by. I didn't see. It's a good thing I just get them for. I don't play music, so I don't care. Le Pénitencier, The House of the Rising Sun, Johnny Holiday. And the Supremes, The Animals, Nina Simone, and Henry Mancini. Okay. Un certain sourire, A Certain Smile, originally by, what's his name? Oh, Johnny Mathis. It was done in France. It was in Quebec. The big hit version was by Michel Louvain. But I got this because it has Henri Salvador, and I collect everything by him. That's pretty cool. And this one is a beautiful piece from 1937. With a Smile and a Song. Walt Disney's first full-length feature production, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Isn't it beautiful? For $1. So that stack was $20. Next, I'm checking and rechecking to make sure I don't skip anything this time. And the $20 pile, and then I got a stack for $4.50. The guy had some 50 cents. Oh, that was so funny because his LPs were out of price, like way too expensive. And he had decided to liquidate his 45s with crazy ass prices still on them, but they were 50 cents each, 10 for $3. I managed to get 15, so I've asked him, can I still get the same deal on another 15 for $1.50, another 5 for $1.50, since they're 10 for $3. He said, yeah, okay. And I always insist that I have the exact change, so they're not like, I don't want to break a 5. So, what did I get for 30 cents each? A spare copy of a record I already have, Le Violoncelle Chutané by Robert Charles Lebois. Beige Neige. I had this as an earworm recently, so it's really funny to find this copy. This I already have, but for Elvis Presley, I got stung in one night. One of these reissues from after his passing. The sound is good, but it's nowhere near the sound you get on the original 78. I Got Stung on 78 is probably my favorite Elvis song to listen to. Disco 45. Love Connection, the Casanovas, and Love Charm. French pressing, Sacha. Hey, tabarnak. There we go. Sacha Distel, quand il y en a pour deux, il y en a pour toi. Quand on est jeune, faut en profiter. Again, with my search for my favorite Adriano Celentano song, still haven't found it, but getting close. I keep finding records by him. This is so far the cleanest and cheapest of his records I've found. Really clean, and it's with a picture. Even we see who he is exactly. Yep, exactly like in that Pre-Zan Collins Nancy Nine Shoes video. But this is La copia più bella del mondo tornò sui miei passi. Probably not saying that right, but Rolling Stones, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, and Denzel's Sister. This I already have, but mine has some writing with a Sharpie on it, so I got a cleaner copy of this picture. See Men in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. And the other side is instrumental. A reissue pressing of Year 16 by Ringo Starr, probably his biggest solo hit. Devil Woman on the other side. A clean original copy of Oh My My by Ringo Starr on Apple with Step Lightly. both sides from Ringo, 1973. All the Beatles play on this album individually as guests for Ringo. Mind Games by John Lennon, and the other side, I think it's Meat City, yes, in a clean picture sleeve for 30 cents, and he never got his $20 he was trying to get, like I said, crazy prices. Then some French EPs, Frank Alamo with Ma Biche and Reviens vite et oublie Sylvie, tout se sait un jour. Ma Biche was his like one hit wonder. Bichot, Ma Biche, whatever. No, it's not Bitch, it's Biche. And a bunch of Richard Anthony EPs. He was a French star doing covers of American and British hits. On this one we have Simon de Oui, va plus loin, welcome by. À toi de choisir, swinging on the star, with a young girl. I don't know if it's really his sister or not, but the name is not on the record. Les garçons pleurent, boys cry. And Richard Anthony, Au revoir mon amour, en attendant, comment fait-elle, s'en vient le temps. And remember I mentioned Sun Damage. This is these are the two Sun Damage records. This one has, I'll try to show it the light there. Yeah, but it doesn't skip. So we have Rose parmi les roses. Et je m'en vais, Chin Chin, Soul Waltzing. Soul Waltzing is in English. That one is the worst one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that one is pretty bad. And I think there's a second spot there. So we have Le ciel est si beau ce soir, a song for Young Love. Son meilleur copain, What to Do with Laurie. I love Donald Lautrec's version of that song. C'est ma fête, It's my party, it skips. And Les Beaux Jours, Wildwood Days. It's not the first time I do some records with heat. It happened to me like many years ago during a streak of yard sales. I had a lucky streak, and records were in the car a little bit too long. Next, and I think that's the item I skipped in the last version of this video. I had to redo. I want to make sure I don't skip. There we go. So an item I saw earlier that morning, but it was $35. I moved on. Then I negotiated. I offered 20. Said, well, 25. I insisted on 20. I wrote 23. I thought I tried at 22. I'll go with what I wrote there, but I'm almost sure I said 22. Either way, he said no, 25. I'm only making $5 on it. But I'm so glad I got it, because I also collect Quick stuff. Not Nesquik, but Quick. I like the Quick Bunny. I actually own a original production cell of Quick from a Quick commercial, and there's a hole in his face of the shape of the straw, because it was like combined with live action. And anyway, so this is Quick, and I don't have the year on it. I think it's from the 1990s, and I was afraid it would be the same picture as on my cans of Quick, my rectangular cans, because that I bought in 1999 when I discovered Quick was turning into Nesquik and would lose his Q bling for an ugly N bling. So I found that out in a flyer. So I drove to the store, and they still had Quick, real Quick, and I bought a big square rectangular box of chocolate Quick and a small strawberry one, and I put them in Ziplocs and bags, and I kept them in perfect shape. But it's a different image, so I'm glad it's a different image. And the other thing is chocolate. It's in English. The other side is also in English. So what the heck? This is not from Canada. And sure enough, it's from California. So I got this for $25. Seems expensive, but I actually love this. It's too bad the eyes are closed, but the rest is great image, great everything. I love this. This is a Quick Bunny the way I want it to look. How much time I can still go on after this splurge. Oh yeah, a man had some expensive rare things, he had a bag of bread, empty bread bag, with a container of no-name cornstarch or whatever it was. I didn't care for the product that was inside. I just wanted the bag. So because it was $10 with the whatever was in it, I said, just the bag. Can I get it for less? And he said, well, it's still $10. And I don't remember how the conversation went. But I managed to get just the bag for $8. So a little bit steep, but I collect Steinberg stuff. Steinberg was a very popular grocery store in Quebec for decades, actually, until it closed in 1992, if I'm not mistaken. It has a clip which bag clip, which I think is original because it says 71 cents, which doesn't match today's prices, so it's probably original. So that was $8, but the same seller sold me something else for a much better price and much more rare, I would say. Children's size aspirin, and French side here, format pour enfants. And it still has some aspirins inside. I didn't want to take the cotton out. And I have an anecdote. Well, it's not exactly from my time, but it looks exactly the same. This expired in 85, sorry. So it might be from, well, I don't know how long aspirin lasts. So maybe 83, 84, maybe. They were made. Well, in the 70s, I have this quick anecdote. I did dumb things as a kid, and I don't remember how old I was, maybe 8, more or less, 7, 8, 9, not sure. And one Saturday for lunch, we had a hot dog and some fries, and not much of a dessert, and I was still hungry, and I decided to go in the pharmacy in the bathroom, and was it in the bathroom back then? I don't remember. I think it was. And I got some. I finished off a bottle of aspirin. There was some left, and my mom always kept the next of something. I opened the next bottle. I was sitting on the floor of my bedroom and having more. I don't remember how many I had until my uncle Jean-Marie was visiting us that day. Saw me, and then he told me, didn't panic, but he reported what he saw me doing to my parents and decided to drive me to the emergency room, and they put a tube up my nose and they emptied my stomach. I got stomach pumped. So I was more embarrassed of what I did, because I knew it was a dumb thing to do, but didn't think it was that bad. Like, it's just children's aspirin are very tame. But I like finding vintage stuff like that just for $5. Damn, I was willing to pay 15 because I expected a crazy price for that bottle. So I like when a seller overprices something and then underprices something else at the same table. I find that amazing. And after that $5 bottle of aspirin, let me flip. At this point, if you add it up, I spent $114.50, and I'm not done yet. And a few more items before we switch to part 2. After that, I went to a guy has some records, various prices, and 2 $3 records here. I saw this one, checked a little bit too fast. I'll tell you why in a moment. Eddie Murphy, comedian. $3. Yeah, this one I kind of wanted, but it's a compilation of Robert Charlebois. I have these songs already, but this is a French pressing from France. Laminated cover, but the condition is not bad. A few scuffs and fake vinyl from France. So I said, well, I want that one, but this one, I'm not sure if can you make it for $5? So he said, yeah, so that's like 3 and 2. However, when I got home, I inspected the vinyl a little bit better. I don't know where my head was when I checked the record. I think I've mistook these little specks of scratches for dust. I thought there was dust. I don't know. Like, I was too fast. I thought there was a little bit of dirt stuck to the record, but these are little scratches, so it's worthless. It happens. And then the same seller had 2 boxes of 45s in his trunk, and 25 cents each, so I got 2. I got Les Bébites par Caro, Comme les gars. Revient Sloopy, cover of Hang On Sloopy, and by Richard Proulx. The other side is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But I put this one in this sleeve, and having the record there. So Perry Clomo presented by Kleenex. I thought the association was really funny and weird, so I got the cover, put this sign, 50 cents. And I think we'll stop here. Let me see. Yeah, we'll stop here. So join me for part 2.